पढ़ लेता ना, टाइम बच जाता। अल्लाह अकबर, अल्लाह अकबर, अल्लाह अकबर, अल्लाह अकबर। अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अन्न मुहम्मदन रसूलुल्लाह, अल्लाह अकबर। अशहदु अन्न मुहम्मदन रसूलुल्लाह, अल्लाह अकबर। अशहदु अन्न अलिय्यन वलियुल्लाह, अल्लाह अकबर। अशहदु अन्न अली हुज्जतुल्लाह, अल्लाह अकबर। हय्य अला الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على خير العمل، حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله، لا إله إلا الله. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Women, please, if you can recite Namaz al-Maghrib, your own. Maulana will be here. We're going to have Salat Isha, inshallah, with Maulana. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أشهد أن محمد رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أشهد أن عليا ولي الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أشهد أن عليا حجة الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجه.
Always keep it up.
Leave it up.
Every time you go up and down, it gets loose.
Okay, leave it like this.
Thank you very much. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أشهد أن عليا حجة الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله صلاة المغرب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده الله أكبر الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم ارزقنا توفيق الطاعة وبعد المعصية. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وتقبل شفاعته وارفع درجته. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا لطيف ارحم عبدك الضعيف. الله أكبر. بسم الله وبالله الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد
وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على
محمد وآل محمد.
لا إله
إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. تزيبا منظرا سلام عليها.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والنجاة من النار ومن كل بلية والفوز بالجنة والرضوان في دار السلام وجوار نبيك محمد عليه وآله السلام. اللهم ما بنا من نعمة فمنك، لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآل محمد. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أشهد أن عليا حجة الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح، حي على خير العمل، حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. استغفر الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد، الله الصمد، لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد، الله الصمد، لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم ارزقنا توفيق الطاعة وبعد المعصية. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وتقبل شفاعته وارفع درجته. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا لطيف ارحم عبدك الضعيف. الله أكبر. بسم الله وبالله الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله.
السلام عليكم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إنه ليس لي علم بموضع رزقي، وإنما أطلبه بخطرات تخطر على قلبي، فأجول في طلبه البلدان، فأنا فيما أنا طالب كالحيران، لا أدري أفي سهل هو أم في جبل، أم في أرض أم في سماء، أم في بر أم في بحر، وعلى يدي من ومن قبل من، وقد علمت أن علمه عندك وأسبابه بيدك، وأنت الذي تقسمه بلطفك وتسببه برحمتك. اللهم فصل على محمد وآله، واجعل يا رب رزقك لي واسعا، ومطلبه سهلا، ومأخذه قريبا، ولا تعنني بطلب ما لم تقدر لي فيه رزقا، فإنك غني عن عذابي، وأنا فقير إلى رحمتك. فصل على محمد وآله، وجد على عبدك بفضلك، إنك ذو فضل عظيم. اللهم صل على محمد Yeah, thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. For the love of our beloved Prophet and his beloved progeny, please recite a second loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. For the hastening in the return of our beloved 12th Imam, a third final loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Inshallah, we'll continue tonight with the sharh of Khutbatul Muttaqeen. We reach these lines in this khutbah of the first Imam, in which he said that these muttaqeen, these special servants of Allah, they are qulubuhum mahzuna. They carry a huzn with them. They carry this worry with them. They carry this concern with them at all times. And we said that this huzn and this worry is different from a person who is constantly depressed. He's constantly down, doesn't feel energetic, doesn't feel like he has a smile on his face. This is not what the verse or the hadith is saying. قُلُوبُهُمْ مَحْزُونَ means that they carry a huzn and a concern and a worry with themselves at all times. This worry and concern is what? This worry and concern is the idea that they don't know who they're going to be tomorrow. That's why the verses of the Quran says that the human being doesn't know. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. No soul on the face of earth knows who he is going to be or she is going to be tomorrow. Today he could be a wonderful person. Tomorrow he could be a completely different person. So they constantly have this huzn with them until the day of judgment shows up. Until that time, or at least until the day of their death shows up, until that time, they're constantly thinking, what can possibly happen to me? Because they know that this free will that the human being has is a two-sided sword. It's a double-edged blade. It can work very well for you, or you can use it and it can work horribly for you. So they constantly have this huzn. And we mentioned last week that although they have this huzn with them, their face is always smiling though. So when you come across them, they're not a person that you see is constantly worried and all shaking and trembling at all times. This is not what a mu'min is from the Islamic perspective. Bishruhu fi wajhi. When you see him, he has a smile on his face. Deep down, he does have these worries though. And therefore, this idea that sometimes we hear in society that you're supposed to live a life of happiness, no worries, no concerns. And many times we say that if you follow religion properly, you can live a life like this, a life of no worries and no concerns. This is not what Islam tells us. Because Islam tells us, forget about the difficulties that life brings us. That's one thing. Just this concern that you have all the time of who am I going to end up being at the end of the day? Today I might be a wonderful person. Tomorrow I might be the enemy of those who I think are good people today. It's very possible. Very much possible. قُلُوبُهُمْ مَحْزُونَةٌ. Number two, شُرُورُهُمْ مَأْمُونَةٌ. The evil that can be expected from them, people feel protected from that evil. When they are around this person, they are not afraid 24/7 that this person might end up hurting them, God forbid, physically, hurting them, God forbid, verbally, emotionally, yes, putting them down, saying something passive-aggressive, mocking them, just one comment, yeah? Oh, here she comes. Here he comes, you know? Here comes the one who thinks he's the best. Shururuhum ma'amuna. When people are around these individuals, they feel comfortable because they're not worried. And we mentioned this is a litmus test in Islam. And if you want to know if you're doing things properly, it's pretty simple. Do people feel at ease around you? Do they feel comfortable around you? Or no, when people come and you're in their presence, do they feel tense? They're like, oh my God, here he comes again. Here she comes again. We have to be careful what we say now. We have to be careful what we do now. Which one of these two is it? Many people think if you're religious, that's the feeling people should have. Because they feel like they have to wrong or correct their wrongs now in my presence. Yes? Which is true, but the fundamental ingredient is for people to feel comfortable around you. If people feel comfortable around you, they will want you to spend more time with them. When they spend more time with you, you spend more time with them. There's a natural effect that happens. Right? We're affected by the people around us, and the people around us are affected by our presence as well. But if you want to even get to that stage, your presence has to be a presence that people feel comfortable with. If people don't feel comfortable with it, then what happens? It never even gets to that stage. Even if you want to affect someone positively, whatever the case might be, never even gets to that stage, because this person cannot even stand you. Doesn't want to spend time with you. A parent, a child, cousin, aunt, uncle, whatever the case might be, whose akhlaq is the type of akhlaq you don't even want to be around this person. This person, he might think that others correct their wrongs in his presence or her presence. In reality, they don't even want to spend time with this person. They don't want to even interact with this person. I've seen many, they think that when they are in this gathering, everyone is now doing things properly. They don't know people are just waiting for this person to leave. Like, when will this person leave so that we can actually start the gathering? Our actual gathering is going to begin. It says, shururuhum ma'muna. People feel very comfortable around them. Yes, that's the result of it. Now we're going to move on to the next one, and this is the one that we want to cover tonight, inshallah. Recite salawats. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Next one is this. أجسادهم نحيفة وحاجاتهم خفيفة. Their bodies are thin. وَحَاجَاتُهُمْ خَفِيفَةٌ. And their needs and their requests and the things that they require, خَفِيفَة, they're light. So what are these lines saying? These lines are saying these guys are low maintenance. It's literally what the hadith is saying. We have multiple ahadith that say a mu'min is khafiful ma'una. A mu'min, he's low maintenance. If he has to go somewhere, there's not 50 different requirements. The food has to be like this, the car has to be like this, the hotel we go to has to be like this, the vacation we go on has to be like this, like this, like this. This is a person who's high maintenance, yes? The hadith says, حَاجَاتُهُمْ خَفِيفًا. When you want to spend time with this person, when you're around this person, he doesn't have a bunch of requirements. We have to go to this place, we have to get the chicken, and the bread has to be double toasted, yes? And they have to have the chef's special, and this is not how a mu'min is. Very beautiful narration. They say the sixth Imam, Imam al-Sadiq salawatullahi alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. He went where? He went into a hammam. He went into a shower, a place where people would take showers, a public, yes? And of course, back in the day, running a shower was like this whole project. To warm the water, bring the water, take the water. It wasn't like this thing, you do 5 minutes and 10 minutes and you get out of the shower, yes? So he entered into this public facility that people used to come, and they used to shower in. And the person who was in charge of the facility, he suggested something to the sixth Imam. He said, Ya Abu Abdullah, let us shut down the facility so that we can then make it available to you. Yes, everyone can be at your service. And now, if you need to bring water or you need someone to help you with different things, everyone is at your service. Yes? And the sixth Imam said what? He said, no, I don't want you to do that. Why? Because innal mu'mina khafiful ma'una. Because a believer, a mu'min, he's low maintenance. He comes, does his thing, other people are there, whatever the case is, he goes. You want to grab some food with him, it's easy. You want to have a conversation with him, it's easy. You want to go on vacation with him, it's easy. He's easygoing. حَاجَاتُهُمْ خَفِيفًا. They have some needs, but these needs are not so complicated, which is exactly the opposite of what society teaches us today. Because in the society that we live in today, it's all about what? Try to see what you want. What are those things that you want? You have to listen to those things that you want. Then you'll be able to live a happy life. Compromise, sacrifice, listen to someone else. And this stuff doesn't have value anymore. It's not trendy anymore. What's important today is what? What do you want? Think about yourself. And the result of this is a person who's extremely high maintenance. Every step of the way, this person has 20 different requirements. If we get on the flight, my seat has to be like this. It has to be aisle. If it's not aisle, it's a problem. I prefer aisle seat, by the way. If it's not here, if I sit in the middle, it's a problem. If the leg room is not enough, it's a problem. If this is not how a believer is. A believer, the way Islam pictures this person is this. When it comes to his production of income, his efficiency, he is high production. Works hard. When it comes to his hajat, his needs, his requirements, his expenses, those expenses are low. This is how Islam pictures a believer. You say, well, there's a big gap between the two. It doesn't make sense. This is the lifestyle that he's producing, but he's spending at this level. It doesn't make sense. If he's producing here, he should be spending here. Islam says, no. That gap is where then he takes those resources and helps other people who are in need. That's the way a believer looks at things. High production. He just sits there and says, well, I'm going to work a job just to be able to pay my bills. No. He has high aspirations. He plans. He thinks. Yes, he strategizes. But when it comes to his expenses, his needs, he cuts them down. حَاجَاتُهُمْ خَفِيفًا. He's low maintenance. Say, well, there's this big gap here. It's supposed to be a big gap. There's many needs that this believer will look at and say, well, I want to be able to contribute to this need. Sometimes it's his relatives who are in need. Sometimes it might be his parents at an older age. Sometimes it's his community who's at need. There's so many needs today, we don't even have to go into that. Yes? But there's supposed to be a gap between these two. What we're taught in this society is, no, if you're here, then your expenses are also supposed to be here. What gap? You have the money. Why not just spend it? What's the problem? It's halal. Yes, it's halal. But that's not the ideal way Islam has pictured us. This person, حَاجَاتُهُمْ خَفِيفًا. وَأَنفُسُهُمْ عَفِيفًا. And they are modest. They have modesty. This is another huge test that our younger generation deals with. in this society, where modesty is not even a value anymore. It's not even like, what are you even talking about, modesty? No. If you put out a picture on social media, and in this picture you are dressed in a modest way, well then maybe people look at it and say, okay. Put out a picture, you're not dressed modestly, then all of a sudden, the attention, the fame, so on, so this is the society we live in. وَأَنفُسُهُمْ عَفِيفًا. It's difficult. And the male has been tasked with this idea of modesty in one way, the female has been tasked with it in a different way. And neither of their tests are to be belittled by the other gender. The brother sits there and says, hijab's not a big deal, whatever. The other one sits there and says, oh, you just don't have to look. That's easy, it's not a big deal. No. Neither has this one been a man, nor has the other one been a woman. To know which one of these is difficult. Neither gender understands what the other gender is going through, yes? They both have their tasks. This one might be more on the dress code side. That one might be on what? The looking side and so on and so forth. But both of their tasks are very difficult. وَأَنفُسُهُمْ عَفِيفًا. These people are people who have modesty. Now, to understand how difficult this is, let's go through this hadith in which the first Imam, again, in another hadith, in the same book of Nahj al-Balagha, he explains what afif means, how difficult it is to show this iffa. He says, مَا الْمُجَاهِدُ الشَّهِيدُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. He says, the one who goes and gives his life in the path of Allah, struggles in the path of Allah. His reward, بِأَعْدَمَ أَجْرًا. His reward is not greater مِمَّنْ قَدَرَ فَعَفَّ. His reward is not greater than the one who had the opportunity to go against his modesty, but he held back. What does this mean? This means this modesty, it's like a battlefield. It's a huge struggle. And what have we done in our communities to assist our younger generation with this? Separate discussion. Sneak peek into that, the summary of it is we've done a terrible job with it. And I'll just leave it at that. He says it's very difficult. It's not an easy thing, especially in this society, where modesty is seen as a weakness. Modesty is seen like, what is this? This is backwards. You're covering up? What, your parents forced you to do this? You're oppressed. You can't think for yourself. Yes? You're unintelligent. You're ignorant. You belong in a village because you're modest. This is the society we live in. وَأَنفُسُهُمْ عَفِيفًا. And then he continues. He says, one of the characteristics of these individuals is this: صَبَرُوا أَيَّامًا قَصِيرًا أَعْقَبَتْهُمْ رَاحَةً طَوِيلًا. These individuals, they were patient. They took the struggles of life for a small period of time, but because they knew after this small period of struggle was going to come this long period of convenience and ease and pleasure. They understood that yes, life is difficult. Anyone who acts too happy in life, I don't know if you've seen people who are too happy in life. Oh no, Shaykh, everything is fine, everything's wonderful. I can't take people who are like that. They're too happy. No, life is difficult. Difficulties in life, yes? It says, but these individuals, they put things into perspective that yes, you have to struggle a little bit. Life is difficult. There are difficulties that come with it. But the amount of difficulty, if you wrap it up and you bundle it up, it's all maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years, inshallah. In Farsi we say inshallah, you live 120 years. Any of the elders I say that to, they say, no, I don't. I'd rather go at a time where I'm still independent, yes? 120 years. They say this is a short time. أَعْقَبَتْهُمْ رَاحَةٌ طَوِيلًا. But they understand afterwards is going to come this convenience and this ease, and they're going to live a life where they are everlasting. They put things into this perspective. And this is the only way the human being can stay sane in this world. Otherwise you go crazy in this world. Because there's so many different things that bothers a human being. It says no. They understand that there's a short period of time, there are ups and downs and difficulties, and I don't know, you have to dress this way, you have to pray 5 times a day, you have to do this, all this kind of stuff. But they know afterwards there's going to come this immense ease. This long period of time where they have a wonderful time. Okay, this long period of time, how long is it? If you pay attention, we know the human being is everlasting. We know the human being is created for baqa, is created to live forever, everlasting. But because we can't really picture it, Quran and Hadith always say, yeah, they're going to have ease and convenience for quote unquote a long time. Rahatun tawila. It's a long time. In reality, it's infinity. That's what Quran and Hadith tells us. Yes, khalidina fiha. That's why the Quran keeps saying what? Khalidina fiha. They're always going to be there. But other times the Quran, because we can't really understand this concept of infinity. Yes? Every step of the way in our minds, we limit things. That's why the Hadith is saying, Rahatun tawila. They have this long time where they are at convenience and at ease. But in reality, it's a lot further than that. Yes? It's infinity. And therefore, there's a concept in Quran that comes up multiple times, and that is the concept of al-ahqab. Ahqab means those long periods of times, those years that you have in the akhirah, different from our years. And Hadith explains these years as years that consist of sometimes thousands of one of our years. That 1 year in the hereafter, thousands of years that we have in this world. We've heard that famous hadith of the first Imam. He said, Shaitan worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 6,000 years. Yes? We don't know if those 6,000 years were of the years of this world or of the years of the next world. Yes? Now hadith says, the Prophet said, لا يخرج من النار من دخلها حتى يمكث فيها أحقابا. The Prophet said, when people enter into hellfire, they remain there for a while. They remain there أحقابا. أحقاب. This long periods of time. And then he said, وَالْحَقْبَ بِضْعٌ وَسِتُّونَ سَنَةً. It is 60 something years. حقب, this 1 year in the akhirah. Think about it that way. بِضْعٌ وَسِتُّونَ سَنَةً وَالسَّنَةَ 360 يَوْمًا. 360 days. كُلُّ يَوْمٍ كَأَلْفَ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. Every one of those days, 356 of which makes up a year over there, every one of those days is like 1,000 of your years. This is what the Quran says, right? كَأَلْفَ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. Every one of your days is like 1,000 years that you guys count. This on the bad side. The good side is the same thing. People say, if I have to deal with the punishment of hellfire a little bit, it's okay. I go a little bit, then I go to heaven. Yes? The hadith says, no, that little bit, that's a lot. Don't plan, don't aim so low. I burn a little bit, then I go over there. That's not how it works, Sometimes things are so hot, you burn them once and it's burnt. Done. Khalas. He says that one moment you go in there is very long. And in other verses of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the disbelievers, they keep saying, where is our punishment? This prophet keeps saying, day of judgment is going to come, God's going to punish you, all this. Where is it? وَيَسْتَعْجِلُونَكَ بِالْعَذَابِ. They keep asking for you to do ta'ajil in this punishment. Where is it? The Quran says, tell them, وَلَنْ يُخْلِفَ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ. God is not going to, He's holding His promise. Your punishment is coming. But let me tell you, you keep rushing towards it. You don't have to rush towards it, because when it comes, it's going to be very long. وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ. One day, when it comes to the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. It's like 1,000 years. So instead of keep asking, when is it going to come? Why didn't it come? Understand that it's a very long time. Now, on the bad side, it's a very long time. On the good side, it's also a very long time. But we don't understand, so Quran Hadith gives us different numbers, just so we can understand, yes? The concept of infinity, the concept of something that is unlimited, is something that the human being struggles with. You cannot fully understand it, right? Every step of the way, he wants to picture this God that's unlimited, but in reality, he kind of pictures something that's very, very big, but it's limited at the end of the day. And this is why, in the different stages of salat, it is mustahab to say takbir. It's one of the secrets of salat. Every step of salat, yes, we have different takbirat in salat, yes? The only one that is wajib is takbiratul ihram. Rest of them are mustahab. But why is it legislated every step of the way? Every time you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it's mustahab for you to say after ruku, for example, Allahu Akbar. And you do your sajda, you get up, you say what? Allahu Akbar. And you're going down, you say Allahu Akbar. Why? Because scholars say this is a reminder for you. This is supposed to resemble and symbolize the idea that this praise that I did of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it was limited still. So whatever I did, Allahu Akbar. He's greater. And they say this is also why it's mustahab for you to use your hands. Because what you are doing is you are throwing that praise behind your back. Saying this praise I did of him, not worthy of him. Allahu Akbar. Forget about the one I did. Because he's greater. Then you go to the next ibadah, you do that again, and then you get back up again and say Allahu Akbar. Even that wasn't enough. Every step of salat, why? Because it's unlimited. You can't understand what unlimited is. The only thing you can say is that you don't understand it. And hence you can never properly worship him, and you can never properly praise him. That's why every time you praise him, at the end you say Allahu Akbar. It's even greater than what I did. So when Quran and Hadith says there's going to be an ease and a convenience for a very long time, it's much longer than we can understand. But because we can't understand, they'll give us some numbers now here, 1,000 years, 2,000 years. But if you really understand this and this fully sinks in for us, then it puts life into perspective. This is why Quran and Hadith keep going back to this idea. Everything you're going through here, it's a short time. Your real life is about to begin. Hasn't even started yet. It's about to begin. If you understand this, the difficulties of life become easy. If you understand this, you also understand that you haven't really missed out on quote-unquote life. People say, I wish this had happened. I wish that had happened. Okay, it's no problem. It's okay. You wanted this happen. It's okay. But deep down, you won't really have regrets in life because you know your life hasn't even started yet. This is a game. Your real life starts when you go next world. That's when, the timer actually begins. عَاقَبَتْهُمْ رَاحَةٌ طَوِيلَةٌ تِجَارَةٌ مُرْبِحَةٌ. Because of this, they understand that this is a very profitable business. Very profitable transaction. I just have to be a good person for 50, 60 years. 70, 80 years. Then what I get in return is unbelievable. يَسَّرَهَا لَهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ. And they understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them this opportunity. And this answers a very famous question many of us might come across a lot of times. We say, Ya Allah, heaven, hell, why did you even create me? I didn't even want to deal with all of this. None of us have a choice when it comes to being born. I didn't even want to deal with this. The answer is, this is an opportunity Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you that you as a human being inherently will always want to take. Because as a human being, you're looking for this pleasure and this ease and this convenience and these blessings. Hence, when you say, I didn't even want this, in reality, you're lying. The human being inherently wants this type of an opportunity. That I be good for 50, 60, 70, 100 years and then comes after it what? Unlimited bliss? There are investments in this world, opportunities that are presented to us that don't even give you a return like this. And we will take them without blinking our eye. Yes? Say, if you buy this NFT is going to blow up. It's going to have this much reward. If you buy this Bitcoin, it's going to... Is there risk involved with it? There's quite a bit of risk involved with it, yes? Very volatile. But you say what? Oh, look at the reward though. Look, if it works out though, this is going to be unbelievable. You take much bigger risks in life. Hence the human being can never say, Ya Allah, I didn't want to be created. Because there's a risk I might end up in hellfire. No, the human being is created in such a way that if there's such a high potential, he will always take an investment and an opportunity like that. And hence he will look at this life as an opportunity and as a blessing. He gave me this blessing. That I could be good for such a short period of time. And in return I get this huge investment. I get this huge profit at the end of the day. tijaratun murbiha. It's a very profitable transaction Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has presented us with. Inshallah, as we move on, he then talks about أَرَادَتْهُمُ الدُّنْيَا فَلَمْ يُرِيدُوهَا. The dunya came and presented himself to them, but they didn't want it. They rejected the dunya. What does it mean to reject the dunya? Inshallah, that we will leave for next week. Recite a salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Inshallah, we'll prepare for the dua. Inshallah, I'll be reciting half and then we'll pass on the other half to the dear brother. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعدمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فنائه كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحه ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك. Everyone. ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلته وكم من عثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت به أعمالي وقعدت به أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعه بعد آمالي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسه بجنايتها ومطاني. يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك وخالفت بعض أوامرك فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شده وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني. يا رب ارحم ضعف يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلده ودقة عظمي. يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبره وتغذيته هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك به. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي أتراك معذبه بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته أو تبعد من أدنيته أو تشرد من آويته أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا وبشكرك مادحا وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعا وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعا وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنا. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنها بفضلك عنك. يا كريم يا رب يا كريم يا كريم يا رب وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطوله مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف به وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين، يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أضجه وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوباته مع أعدائك وجمعت بينه وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وهبني صبرت على حر نهارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك، أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآمنين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين.
يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاك طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يزج إليك زجيج مؤمل رحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبكى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يهلكه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفا. أم كيف يتكلكل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا. أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربا. أم كيف يرجو فضلك في إتكه منها فتتركه فيها. هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاهديك وكزيت به من إخلاد معانديك. لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مكرا ولا مقاما. لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين. وأنت جل صنعك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالكزية التي هتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمت وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررت وكل جهل أملت كتمته أو أعلنت أخفيته أو أزهرت. وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي. وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم. وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفر خزي من كل خير أنزلت أو إحسان فضلت أو بر نشرت أو رزق بسطت أو ذنب تغفر أو خطأ تستر. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك ركي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا أليما بزري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قوي على خدمتك جوارحي واجدد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في اتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في البارزين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين ودنو منك دنو المخلصين وخافك مخافة الموقنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرده ومن قادني فكده واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخسهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك وعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعلني لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وكلني أسرتي واغفر زلتي فإنك كزيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرته بدعائك وزمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تعتم من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النكام يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا.
Before we do ziyarat, inshallah, let's take a moment to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for all marhumin and marhumat, especially the marhumin and marhumat of the sponsors of tonight's program, Mukhtar Ali Makhraj, Rubab Banu bint Haj Naji, Shaban Ali Qulam Hussein, with a loud salawat. Allah. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، السلام على 9 المعصومين من ذرية الحسين، السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.